Hi, students. I'm going to excuse the highway noise because it's just too beautiful outside to go inside and do this. So I'm sitting on the porch, and I'm going to hopefully show a couple of shortcuts or tricks for finishing out how to put the doors in on the floor plans, and then the next topic, which is creating blocks. So I'm going to switch screens right now. Let's see how that goes. Okay. So we are recording and I am screen sharing. So there we go. This is the first floor plan. I think this is where I left off in class. On this one, I don't have my doors and windows in yet. So, and you can see that everything is black and white, which means it's all on layer 0. And not sure you can see that because my Zoom stuff is up here. My current layer is A wall, which is where I want all this stuff. So all I did is I went to switch things that are drawn on layer 0. So here, this I copied over. But if to switch these lines, I can just select them and then come up here and it says currently that line is on layer 0. I can switch it like that and hit escape. Or I can, once I have something on that layer, I can come up here to match properties and I select the source object, which is pick something on the good layer, and now I start painting everything else. And I can do this with a crossing window. I can do a lot of stuff at one time and enter. So that's how I switch things to the other layer. You'll notice that I've got some openings cut for the doors already. So how I figured out where this went is this little guy here. In a couple weeks, we're going to go to Kohler and we're going to get blocks for this is the bathtub. But generally the bathtub that you would go to Menards and get or Home Depot is going to be 30 by 60. So I just drew a 30 by 60 rectangle. So rectangle, left click, 30, tab, 60. Oops, and that's on my wall layer. I'm going to put it back on layer 0 because later on I'm going to put it on a plumbing layer. And then I moved it into place. So I typed M for move. I grabbed it and then I took the corner and just snugged it right in. And then I drew walls around it. So I'm going to trim this out. Right. Oops. TR for trim. Oh, wait, I'm using an old version of AutoCAD. It doesn't do that, but I'll trim it anyway. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, so that's how I got this line here. I'm going to move this out of the way. That's how I get this wall here. And then this wall just is an extension up. The thicknesses here are 4.5. And then this little guy right here is called the return. He is 3 inches wide. So if I were over here, I'm going to move my tub into place, grab the lower left corner, put it in here. Now I'm going to switch. I'm on my wall layer, type L for line. Oops, L for line. I'm going to start here, go to the edge of the tub, come straight up. I'm going to offset both these two lines, 4.5. This one inward, that one inward. And then I'm going to F for fillet to clean them up. And now I'm going to trim to get rid of that guy out of there. Again, my trimming technique is a little different than yours because I have an older version of AutoCAD, and that's how I got that in there. And now I need to cut an opening. This door is a 32-inch door, and I know that because, let me see if I can get there. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Oh, I'm going to put this on pause because I have some handouts. I don't want to stop the video, I just want to pause it. Okay, so I pulled up this floor plan and you will see that I have this door is a 32-inch door that's going to go into the bathroom, swing in. This little piece right here is the return. He is 3 inches. And then the next door we're going to put in is this 30-inch pocket door, which is 3 foot 8 3/4 over from the edge to the center. And then here's another 3-inch return behind this 32-inch door. Now I'm looking at this and then I'm noticing my dimension. In each case, the 3 inches does not include the frame. So that's going to answer that question. So I'm going to go back to my AutoCAD drawing. That's the wrong one, this one. Okay. I'm going to offset this. Oops, that's a 0. O for offset, 3. I'm going to extend this line up. Again, my extend process is a little different than yours because I have an older version of AutoCAD. So there's my return. I'm going to offset this 32 inches. And now I'm going to trim out this opening. TR for trim. And clear those guys out. So that's how I located that door. I'm going to put this door in as well. Offset, 3. EX for extend. Offset, 32. And I might be going a little fast. Just keep pausing me while you're working on this, because all I'm doing is offsetting and trimming, just so there's nothing new in these commands. This is everything you need to know. I'm just using the back wall, offsetting at 3 inches, extending so I get a line through the wall, and then trimming it out. And then the last one was 3 foot 8 3/4, I think. So offset 3 foot 8.75. That's going to be the middle. I'm going to extend that guy right here. And now I've got a 30-inch door opening, so I need to go 15 inches right and 15 inches left. So I'm going to offset 15 to the right, 15 to the left, TR for trim. Clean all that up and erase that. So there's my openings on the first floor. Now is a really good time to save. And I'm going to jump up to my second floor. Okay, and I did the same thing on the second floor. I think I have another video, a previous video, where I show you how I get these walls in here. Again, they're all on layer 0, which is why they are white lines on a black background. I'm going to select a bunch of walls, and I'm going to move them to layer A wall and hit escape. And now I'm going to see if I can get back to where those handouts were. Whoops, that's not the one I want to go to. Well, I don't have the second floor. I'm going to pause. I can do that. All right, so on this one, what I did is I extended the stair wall. The stair I brought in from the first floor, so we know that already know how to place the stair. Then I'm going to have a wall on both sides of the stair to separate the study and the bedroom. I'm going to take this wall that is the demising wall to the study and run it straight across. And then I offset it because I have this 6-inch wall behind the toilet for the extra plumbing vent and the drain. That wall, the bottom line here, I then offset up 8 foot 2 1/4 to get the center line of the sink plumbing wall. And then I offset the left side of this wall right here to get the center line of this one here. And that's how I created the rectangle opening for this little powder room right here. The window is centered 11 foot 9 3/4. That's a 24-inch window. And I think I just put my 30-inch pocket door right across from it. So I'm going to jump back to AutoCAD. And whatever that weird 11, 9 3/4 from the outside to the center. So offset 11 foot 9.75. That can't be it. That's got to be it. And then this is going to be a 24-inch window. So I'm going to offset this 12 inches up and 12 inches down and trim it out. And erase this last little line. And now I'm going to make my powder room door right across from the window. I'm going to put that little line back, and I'm going to extend it right here, and now offset. This is a 30-inch door, so it's 15 up, 15 down. I have to check something because I don't remember what I did. Nope. Okay, offset 15 up, 15 down, TR for trim. And then this guy I'm going to erase. So that's my opening for my pocket door. My bedroom doors are 32 inches, so I'm going to do the same thing and have that little 3-inch return. Offset 3. Extend so that cuts through. Whoops. EX for extend. Offset this 32 inches. 1, 2, and now I will trim everything out. I'm just going to select everything as a trimming line. This is kind of a way to speed up the trimming process. Again, this is an old version of AutoCAD. You don't need to do this now. All I care is that you get these same openings, and I'm going to trim out this little piece of wall right here as well. And I'm going to save. All right, so why did I spend all my time creating those openings? Because the best is yet to come. Okay, so this, as I said, is where we're going. So you can start to see my layers on here, and you can tell that my doors are on a green layer and my windows are on a yellow layer. But one thing I want to point out is when I select a door, I'm going to select it, you will notice that I get one blue grip. I'm going to move, I'm going to copy, actually, stop that. I'm going to move a door and a window off to the side. Over here. Whoops. That's kind of weird. We'll get rid of that. Okay. You will notice that even though when we drew this, this was a rectangle, a rectangle, a rectangle, and an arc, so 4 separate objects, and the window was a rectangle, rectangle, and 3 lines. But now when I select it, it's one big group of objects that are tied together electronically. And the same thing with the door. And this is what's called a block. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a block, and then every time we want to put that particular door in, we don't have to redraw it again. We insert the block. I can uncreate. I can, if I don't want these to be blocks anymore, I can explode them, which is the shortcut is an X. It's also this little icon below the pencil right there. So I'm going to hit X for explode, and I'm going to touch this and hit enter. And you will see that both of these blocks turned white. And now they went back to being just a group of rectangles and lines. So these are the objects that were used to create the blocks. Whenever I want to put a block in, I'm going to type I for insert, and I will get a dialog box that says insert, and I'm actually going to click the down arrow, and you'll see that there's all sorts of blocks that are already inside this drawing. These are blocks that I either went and got from that's a toilet that I got from Kohler, and there's a kitchen sink. I got that one from Kohler, and there's a door, and there is a window. So these are blocks that I either made or created. And when I want to use this blocks, I for insert, and I say okay. And then here comes that window block. Now you'll notice my block came in pink or magenta, and that's because he got inserted on, I would happen to be on a layer called viewports, which we'll talk about later. This window should actually be on layer A glaze. So all I need to do is select it and find A glaze, and that moved it. So later on, if I want to not have to do that extra step, I'm going to I for insert. If I need another window, and there's my residential window, I'll go find a different window and say okay. Oh, dang it, I forgot to change my layer. I'm still in the wrong layer. I'm going to switch to layer A glaze, and now I'm going to type I for insert and go find a new window, and now I'm going to say okay, and here comes that window. And you'll notice that my window is attached to my cursor, and then I can actually rotate it when I put it in. So that's what we're going to learn to do. I'm going to jump back to Cottage first and sort of walk you through the process of how to do that. You should have drawn these 4 or 5 different doors that I gave you on the handout. The handout being, where'd it go, where'd it go? Hang on a second. There, this is the handout that I'm talking about, and we've already drawn a 30-inch door, and then we've got 32-inch doors. I think these are the doors that are going into the bedrooms. This is the door that's going in off the front porch, and these are the windows. So I want you to have all of these drawn, and this is what we're going to be turning in to blocks. I'm going to flip back over to my AutoCAD drawing. All right, so if this is how we make a block, there's 2 very important first steps. Whenever you create a block, it should always be on layer 0. So make sure you always go back to layer 0. So everything's going to be black and white. So always layer 0. And then down in the lower right corner, your scale should be 1 to 1. You create blocks on layer 0 at 1 to 1. When we insert the blocks, we're going to change those to the layer we want them to go in on, for instance, door or wall or window or door, and we're going to change the scale to whatever we think we're going to plot at. For a floor plan, it's going to be 1/4 inch, but when we create the block, it's going to be 1 to 1 and layer 0. The next step for creating a block is to type B for block and hit enter. And now I'm going to name the block, and you're going to do this each individually. So you'll do this, if we have 6 doors, you're going to do this 6 different times. If we have 4 windows, you're going to do it 4 different times. This text here is the name of the block. So you type here the name. I'm going to make put my caps lock on, DR_30. That is the width of the door, _RES for residential. So I've got the name in it. That's step 1. Step 2, I'm going to pick my insertion point. Your insertion point should always be a point somewhere on the door frame so you can get it to snap right in the wall. So I'm going to pick my insertion point, and then I'm going to pick the lower left corner of this frame. So pick something that's on a frame. Don't pick the middle because you don't have a snap point on your wall. Somewhere on here, that's going to be my insertion point. I always pick retain. This is going to be one of those trust me things. Just do it and I'll show you down the road why. And then I'm going to select the objects. And now you can just do a large crossing window around it. Do not include the words, just the objects, and hit enter. And you'll see a little thumbnail of that object right here, and you can say okay. So now I can delete this. I don't need this anymore. If I need that door back, I'm going to go to layer A door, I for insert, and there's that block I just made. And I'm going to say okay, and there comes that door. The beauty of the block is that if you need to make a change to this door and you have a project where you have, say you've got 10 or 20 of these doors in here and somehow they change, all you need to do is change the block and all of the doors change. So I'm going to sort of show you that with this window, 24-inch window, and I'm going to type B for block. But wait, I'm going to back up. I'm going to make sure that I am on layer 0 and I'm at 1 to 1, which I am. B for block. And this is going to be window underscore 24 underscore res for residential. Pick my insertion point, which is going to be a lower left corner here. Make sure it says retain. Select all my objects. Hit enter. I did not include the words, and say OK. Now I can delete this. And when I'm ready, I can switch to layer A glaze, and I can I for insert. And now I'm going to go look, and there's that window I just made, and here he comes attached. So I'm gonna, I think there's a window over here, off 4 feet, and I'm just gonna throw this window in. Whoops, just to show you how this works. So, I for insert, I'm going to go find that window. It's the last thing I put in. And so I can click that guy in there, right there. And I'm going to copy him over. So now I've got 2 of those windows in. Let's say the window itself changed where they want a central mullion in there. I can go in and I can edit my block. So I'm going to come up here to either block editor, or I'm going to type BE for block edit. And here's my 2 blocks, and I'm going to pick that window that I need to edit and say OK. And we're going to add a central mullion in here. So all I'm going to do is copy this one over there, and I'm going to trim it out, and I'm going to save, and I'm going to close. And now you'll see that both of my blocks updated. And this comes in really handy for very large projects where you have multiple windows, doors. Even you could design, for instance, a hospital or a hotel that has 100 of the same bathrooms, and somehow that bathroom changes from 100 tubs to 100 showers. You just need to change the block, and boom, 100 bathrooms are revised just like that. So I'm going to let you think about this and sort of practice that, and we'll also go over it again next Tuesday.